is heading to New Mexico and to Colorado for last-minute campaign stops. The trending of the polls still seems to indicate an Obama victory nationwide by as many as 8 points. Some polls show him leading by as few as 4 points. The big bellwether states, of course, remain Indiana, Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Most people are believing, at least these are pundits who followed the election, that the first most important information that are going to come in the East Coast is when the polls close in Indiana at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Indiana will be reporting its result at that time. If Obama wins that race, it's going to be taken as a bellwether for a very good night for the Democrat. If, however, McCain wins that race, it will signal the opposite. We'll be keeping our eyes on that, and tomorrow, obviously, God willing, we'll be announcing the victor, whether it's Senator McCain or Senator Obama. Hopefully we'll have a resolution. Both prior contests, of course, Senator Kerry against President Bush, as well as Vice President Gore against then Governor Bush, meant that we had to wait a few days, the Gore-Bush election in particular. Stock market remains up about 270 points as we go to a word from our sponsors.
Every day, the world wakes up and goes to work, pursuing the unique opportunities that lead the global economy forward. The complexity and close connectivity of today's global marketplace is a true modern miracle that can create unparalleled success. But it takes confidence, passion, innovation, and understanding.
Enabling opportunity.
Protecting capital.
Engineering innovation.
Investing in your future.
Ensuring continuity.
Finding the right balance.
It takes Aon.
The fate of the 5 former insurance executives found guilty of various charges earlier this year is slowly but inexorably moving toward conclusion. On Friday, a federal judge ruled that shareholders of American International Group lost more than $500 million as a result of a scheme to manipulate the financial statements of AIG. The ruling by Judge Christopher Droney, who is a U.S. federal district judge in Hartford, who was the presiding judge in the case, means that the 5 former insurance executives convicted could face up to life in prison under advisory sentencing guidelines. 5 former executives of Gen Re and a former AIG executive were convicted last February of conspiracy, securities fraud, mail fraud, and making false statements to the SEC. Prosecutors filed court papers yesterday citing a study by its expert concluding that fraud-related losses to AIG shareholders totaled as much as $1.4 billion. They also cited other methodology by the same expert that put the losses as low as $544 million. The judge rejected the higher estimate but said the lower range was reasonable. That finding at that threshold means that the determination that the fraud affected more than 250 people will automatically increase the advisory guideline sentence range. The guideline range and a sentencing date have not yet been set. The defendants challenged the estimate, saying there was no loss to investors. The defendants, of course, are Christopher Garand, Ronald Ferguson, Elizabeth Monrad, Robert Graham. They're from Gen Re, and Christian Milton from AIG. Ferguson, who was the former CEO of Gen Re, has said in court papers that he anticipated the government will advocate a loss amount that leads to a recommendation for life in